Another thing I wanted to talk about was fucking psychologists. Carl Jung. Carl Jung is a famous fucking Swiss psychologist. He introduced these ideas called the archetypes. And the archetypes was the idea that the psychological manifestations of the mind in the subconscious realms, they express themselves universally in culture all over the world. One of the examples they used was that every culture in the world seems to have a wise figure with a beard. You know, like even Jesus Christ, for example, would be our Western fucking version of that. And he talked about how every culture in the world manifests mermaids. For some reason, people associate women and put fish together as an odd concoction of like manadors. But these manifestations are something that comes from the psychology of the human mind, but express themselves universally in all sorts of cultures. And what he learned about the archetypes was that there's these inbuilt mechanisms, like almost stories, we use to decipher the word. They're in our psyche. It was actually him invented the term psyche. He was one of the first people that developed that idea. He worked alongside Sigmund Freud, who's a fucking, like, he's the founder of psychoanalysis. But personally, I think Sigmund Freud's a fucking asshole. He's just convinced, he's just hell bent and convinced that it's all fucking, humans are all victims of sexual neurosis and stuff like that there. Like we all secretly fancy our molars and all this sort of stuff, which probably to a level some of his stuff is true, but when you read a lot of Freud's early stuff like the foundations of psychiatry, it is totally fucking wacko. And he was also one of the biggest cokeheads on planet Earth. He snorted loads of cocaine, and he actually wrote down in medical manuals that cocaine was the answer to all of life's problems, nearly every ailment from the flu to headaches to fucking depression to PTSD. He thought cocaine was the answer to everything. So that he might have started to fight off, but I don't think he's as good as Jung. Jung would draw these like really detailed fucking illustrations of psyche phenomena. He would almost like hallucinate, and he's jacked hard, like have psychedelic fucking experiences without taking drugs, like fucking crazy artwork he drew, like all these different heads, fucking visions and dreamlike states of like bodies entering out of the body and stuff like that. I'll put them up on the screen when I'm talking here about him. But he was actually considered to be an art brut outsider artist by certain fucking modes in the 21st century. But back in the day, he was the head man in psychology, along with Freud. But him and Freud get discontent with each other. The way I would break it down is Freud's obsessed with sex, Carl Jung's obsessed with spirituality and the hidden meanings of the human psyche. Another thing Jung talked about was the shadow self, and how integrating your bad self with a word is the healthiest thing to do. He said his ideas was that we're all corrupt individuals to certain extents, but we have a persona, and that's the mask we wear to the word. Our persona is the personality we show people. But he said we also have a dark side, and that's called the shadow self. And if we don't learn to integrate the shadow self with our persona, we can have dysfunction and nightmares, and the neurosis comes out and the madness comes out. So it's like, it's like integrating we slide jokes and things like that, and having a laugh with being, a dark triad can stop you from actually becoming a fucking psychopath and cutting somebody's head off. So those people that repress all their fucking evil and all their darkness, they're the people that usually end up fucking going fucking bonkers, because it's healthy. They know there's a shadow. Know what I mean? There's a shadow self. But Jung's stuff's really fucking fascinating. Hey, I've seen other fucking current intellectuals like Zizek and all, fucking Slavoj Zizek, or that. Well, let me pass it. Look, your man of slabbers and fucking communist. Fucking dickhead. But smart man, definitely intellectual. I love these breakdowns of the family. I love too. I think what the family talk was a perverse gay ideology But your man Sladgev says such a smart cunt, like, but he's at the end of the day he's a communist. No, I mean that's never going to work and never has working. So it doesn't matter how big your brains are if you're entertaining ideas like that there, like where the slaughter that's came from in the past and the Zionists that put it in power, you're crazy. No matter how we spin it, intellectual spin you put on it. But John was a song boy, hey, and I hope you like some of them drawings that I put up on the screen there, because I had to Google them after I've recorded this, so I was talking about the future and right now in the time. But Kerr John's some boy, and there's another boy too, Bernays, that was I think it was a fucking Sigmund Freud's brother, or not brother, cousin, and he was the first to do public relations propaganda where people bought things for like being attractive and stuff, because back in the 1940s and 50s and 60s, products were only sold for the practical abilities. Like you would say, buy these shoes, they'll get you to the store in time, and it was always like, you know, a thing's use. But Bernays brought psychology into marketing, and he started introducing things like wear this and be sexy, about your personal appeal rather than the practical use of things, more integrating the personality with the product. You'll be the nicest guy in town. 9 out of 10 doctors agree you should eat bacon and eggs. That was another one of these propaganda tools. Was he got doctors. They condoned eating bacon and eggs as a healthy breakfast. And it was some started that whole 9 out of 10 doctors agree. Yeah, that was a propaganda trick, because we all have like a fucking caring relationship. We're doctors and we trust doctors. So he used somebody that we would, people would respond to and take advice, and that was a way for him to control the masses. But he invented that whole PR, public relations, and basically propaganda for celebrities and propaganda for selling products, whereas before propaganda was just used for war and for political reasons. But he started using it to sell capitalist like cars and fucking skirts. Another one of the things Bernays done was there was the feminist movement that started in the 1950s, I think it was, and he put it in a magazine that these women were going to come and light torches of freedom in Times Square. And of course the media pulled up, and when the women pulled out their cigarettes, because at the time it was taboo for women to smoke in public, they used a feminist slant on it. And what it really was it wasn't so much to convince people to support feminism, their torches of freedom, but it was really to get increased cigarette sales. So he used the feminist angle as if it's cool, you're a woman now, you can smoke, but really he just give like fucking hundreds of thousands of people cancer and made half the population prone to being victims of smoking again. So, but he done it all as if it was for feminism. So that's what psychology does. Psychology can work on all different faculties, even sell you fucking products. But there's 3 guys that I always stick out in my head that's worth talking about, so I thought I'd just skim over that there a bit.